Those bids you're presenting, people are seeing them. Except one mistake. Somewhere in the fine print, it required a bid bond. And not only getting a bid bond when it's required is necessary, but having a bid bond in your tool chest of weapons to use to get yourself bids and recognize not only the bids you win, but get yourself projects and awarded projects is an excellent tool even when they're not required. They need to know that the work they have been awarded to the contractor they awarded to at the price that was bid can be honored. It's a protection mechanism. It's a guaranteed protection that they can go through that process and find the right contractor if they need to. So just because you want the work doesn't mean you should get the work for the price that you have to. And by putting a bid bond together and asking a surety to insure your bid bond, they're gonna have an extra layer of protection that might just save you from taking on a job that you really want, but would never be able to make money on. Welcome everybody to the next episode of the Construction MF'ers podcast. My name is Scott Peper. I am the CEO and founder of Mobilization Funding, and today you got me solo. We're gonna talk about why every contractor needs a bid bond, what they are, what they can do for you, what the impact is if you need one and don't have one, what if you find out that you need one really quickly and you've never started the process. We're gonna cover all of that today, and we're gonna give you real insight, real feedback, and give you practical experience and knowledge on what it can do for you and how to go about getting one right away. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's put a real life scenario together. You've been bidding lots of work. You're responding to RFPs. You got your team together. You're finally starting to get traction and you're winning some real awards. Those bids you're doing, they're making a difference. Those bids you're presenting, people are seeing them. Except one mistake. Somewhere in the fine print, it required a bid bond. You didn't know what that was. You're about to win. Your inside connection tells you, hey, look, you're doing great. I just need you to get that bid bond. But you've never started the bid bond before, and you Google the word bid bond, you try to figure out what you have to get, what you need to get the process, and all of a sudden you realize it's a little more involved than you think it is. That kind of scenario happens all too often, and it only needs to happen to you once. But hopefully, if you're watching this video, you will not let this happen to you, and you'll start the process right away. And not only getting a bid bond when it's required is necessary, but having a bid bond in your tool chest of weapons to use to get yourself bids and recognize not only the bids you win, but get yourself projects and awarded projects is an excellent tool even when they're not required. So let's jump into what is a bid bond anyway. So what is a bid bond anyway? Well, a bid bond is a guarantee from a surety company that the contractor will do the work that they've been awarded for the price they were awarded and under the terms and conditions that the bid bond covers. That's the simple definition. It's an insurance policy. Who is the insurance policy protecting though? It's protecting the owner or developer. It's also protecting maybe the state, the city, or municipality. And as these projects come out of the ground, if it's taxpayer dollars and a certain budget has been approved and they're going to now award everything via that budget, and the special counsel has voted on it, the governing bodies have voted on it, they don't have time to go back and negotiate. They need to know that the work they have been awarded to the contractor they awarded to at the price that was bid can be honored, because they don't have the time to go back and forth. And so the way they ensure that gets done is by buying an insurance policy via the bid bond from the surety. Now, it's a requirement of the subcontractor to have to go get that bid bond. And it also is the burden of the subcontractor, contractor, to actually go get it. And the surety company is more than willing to provide a bid bond. But the process to get it is not as quick and easy as one might think. The surety actually has to do their due diligence. The surety has to do some work. And if they don't have any information on you, if you don't already have a bond program, it can be really cumbersome. Now, when you already have a bond program, getting a bid bond is pretty easy because it's already part of your program. They know who you are, they know what you're doing, and they can go jump right into it and help you as fast as possible. But when you don't have a bid program or a bonding program and you need a bid bond, well, now it's time to start from scratch. Let's talk about what that process looks like. So what is the role of the bid bond anyway? What are you exactly asking the surety company to do? Well, you're asking the surety to provide a guarantee that the bid you've provided for the project you've bid on and the award they're about to give you, they're going to guarantee that you have the ability to honor that bid. And if you don't honor it, the costs that are associated to either getting a new contractor or finding a supplemental qualified contractor can be covered by that bid bond. It's a protection mechanism. It's a guaranteed protection that they can go through that process and find the right contractor if they need to. Now, it doesn't guarantee the work. It's not a performance bond. It's not a payment bond. It's just a bid bond. It means that they will find that insurance policy is a guarantee they can go out and find someone to take on that project for that price under those terms and conditions, or they can lean on the surety and the policy to protect them. Now, a bid bond isn't all that bad. It might be hard for you to get, but it also can do a lot of things for you. It can provide a ton of value. For example, first, reputation and trust. If you can get a bid bond by a valuable, well-accredited surety company, it just gives more credence to your ability to do the job. It gives more credence that you know what you're doing. Getting a bid bond isn't easy. You got to provide a lot of information. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But it also tells the contractor who you may be working for, or it tells the business owner or the surety or whoever that you are actually able to do the work. You've done it before, and it gives you a leg up. Reputation and trust. It gives you some extra value that you may need to separate yourself from someone else other than just price. Secondly, if you are able to get a bid bond together quickly, it may give you a competitive advantage. There are times where projects for cities and states and other government entities are put out quickly. Think about times where there may be a project, there may be a disaster, something may have went wrong, and you need a bid bond. They want to put it out quickly. They want to get it fixed quickly. That bid bond can be a competitive advantage. You may have folks that beat you out on price, maybe beat you out on performance, but if you have a bid bond available to you and you have the ability to go get one, that might be the competitive advantage to beat out your competition where you might not otherwise have been able to. And third, it's a good sound business practice. In the world of bidding, it's an art, not always a science. Getting a bid bond provides an extra layer of protection that you are bidding projects correctly, that you're putting the right number to them, that you can actually execute to that number. Being the best price, the lowest price, isn't always valuable to you. There's many companies out there that can do the work for less money or with even greater margin because they may have operational efficiencies you just don't have. They may have capital expenditures that you don't have to incur. So just because you want the work doesn't mean you should get the work for the price that you have to. And by putting a bid bond together and asking a surety to insure your bid bond, they're going to have an extra layer of protection that might just save you from taking on a job that you really want but would never be able to make money on. It's a good practice to get into, just knowing you can get a bid bond, because they will look and force you into scrutinizing your business in ways you might not otherwise have. I'll share a real world example with you. Here's an example where a bid bond or the lack of a bid bond really hurt a contractor. Someone that was our client, we worked with really closely. They had a lot of opportunity to do work, and they were doing it for this customer, and they were doing it over and over again. They did such good work that one of the other general contractors that they've wanted to work with, very highly skilled, very reputable, excellent projects, working for great owners, wanted to give them an opportunity. Their concern, though, was that the work they were doing already for some others, by giving them more work, it might put a little extra pressure on them. And they were worried that that pressure might put the subcontractor in a bad position. So what they asked for was a bid bond. They just simply wanted to get a bid bond, knowing that if you did the work, they could at least get that project covered if you couldn't do it or you couldn't fail by the time they were ready. Not being able to get that bid bond because they hadn't put together a bonding program yet or built a relationship with a surety agent really hurt them. Let's go through what the steps are to get a bid bond going. Make sure you have the ability to get one when you need one. Let's cover those points now. First and foremost, find a reputable surety agent, one that you know you can work with. Talk to your peer groups. Talk to someone who is familiar to you, but also familiar with the process. Ask them what they like about that person. Ask them if they've been able to help, if that agent has helped them. Ask them if they can give you some stories of how they've separated. What's the speed and time look like? Do they have relationships with surety companies that might give you a competitive advantage? Secondly, you got to get your documents together. You're going to need your contracts, your contract reviews. You're going to need to show what your work in progress, your accounts receivable, your accounts payable, income statement, balance sheet, taxes. All of the things that are really important to managing your business and critical to looking at the financial capability and stability of your business is going to be required. Why is that? Again, a bid bond is going to ensure for the owner that if they award you the project at the price you bid it at, that you would be able to execute that project at that price and not fail to start. And if not, they need someone to come in and step in and be able to do it for that price under the terms and conditions. And the costs associated to finding another contractor, if you choose not to take the contract, is a problem. And so a surety is going to need all of those documents and documentation on your business to be able to make that assessment. Next, they're going to do a simple underwriting process. They're going to figure it out. They're going to make their decision. And then lastly, they're going to issue you the bid bond. That's essentially the process. There's a lot in between. There might be some questions. It might take some time, but it's a good exercise to go through and can really help you not only get and win more work that you've bid, but also give you a competitive advantage. In conclusion, think about it like a leg up. If you are insured to be able to execute work at the price you bid it at, and that a surety will stand behind your bid to do that work, it just gives you an extra layer of protection to not only ensure you have the right price that you can execute on, but it also gives your customer a competitive advantage, knowing that they're going to be able to pick the right person. Following through on these items, getting these bid bonds together, getting your company tight and right, this is just one more example of being able to do that effectively. My call to you is go ahead and go through the process now, whether you think you need it or not. You're going to guarantee learn something that's going to help you and your business. Please, if for those of you that have experienced bid bonds before or gone through this process, share your stories in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let's make sure that everyone can find value in this conversation by not only the things I say, but by the stories that you guys can tell one another. We see it far too often in our business and mobilization funding, the ability for people to take on extra work, to win work, to want to do work, to find new customers, and somehow, some way, this bid bond shows up. And it either prevents them from being able to get the job, or sometimes it actually makes sure they can get that job. I hope you found this information valuable. I hope this quick hitting lesson gives you the information you need to get started. Find a great surety agent. Make phone calls. If you don't want to find one and you can't find one from one of your friends or family, just pick 3, get a good feel, ask the same questions to all 3 and see which one you can work with. Ask them to give you real examples of who they've helped already. And then once you've made that decision, go through the process, let it help your business. And here's to winning more bids, executing them well, and growing your business. Please connect with me on LinkedIn or YouTube. Share with your comments. And if you can help anyone else see this video, pass it along if you found value. In the meantime, have a great week and God bless you.